Welcome to the Zono Sports Show, where you know Zonos. The NBA Summer League has concluded, and Magic Johnson said it, not me. The Lakers' Showtime is back. Signed Brook Lopez. They brought in Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. What else could they do? Oh, just go out there and ball out and win the Summer League like they did. Lonzo Ball, we found out this summer, is a real big baller. Summer League MVP. LeVar Ball proclaimed that he would win Rookie of the Year. He prophesied that. Now, he obviously couldn't do it in his shoes, had to switch it up, couldn't play well in the Triple B's, BDB's, Big Baller brand sneakers. So what did he do? Put on the Nikes the first night, came back with the James Harden Adidas, and then finished it off and followed up with some Under Armour Chef Currys, and then we saw him wear the Air Jordans. Now, he obviously didn't play last night in the championship game due to a mid-level calf strain. Now, I'm thinking potentially that could have been, maybe the Lakers just said, this guy's a star, we don't want to risk him getting injured, so let's go ahead and hold him out of the championship game because it is just Summer League, right? I think Summer League means a lot when it comes to showing what a team has in terms of rebuilding. And the Lakers, they've got all the pieces. Now, Lonzo Ball, yes, he had his 2 triple-doubles, 36 points one of those games. However, Kyle Kuzma was the real hidden gem. 27th pick in the NBA draft. But when he was at Utah, people, if you watch college basketball at all, you knew that Kyle Kuzma was going to be a scorer. You knew that he would be a stretch 4 potentially because of his size, but I think he'll probably be a shooting guard, maybe play the 3 because Brandon Ingram would have to play the 2, of course. But the Lakers and this young talent, they look good. Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka in just this short time have done a fantastic job bringing in things they need. They've got a veteran presence with Brook Lopez and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. They got rid of Swaggy P. You get him out of the locker room. You clean out D'Angelo Russell and his antics. I like what the Lakers have moving forward. And other teams in the summer league that have a lot of talent that's going to develop over time. I really like Dallas Dennis Smith Jr. He's explosive. He's a dynamic guard who can control the floor with his eyes and his passes, but as well, he's explosive as well. He's got a little bit of that juice Russell Westbrook has in him at the guard spot. So I like Dennis Smith's ferociousness. Jason Tatum. I've said all along, if you've been keeping up with Zono Sports, that Jason Tatum would be a baller for the Celtics. I said he was the pick over Josh Jackson. Josh Jackson played okay, but how far did his team really get in the summer league? Jason Tatum is an immediate impact player. Biggie Swanigan, Caleb Swanigan from Peru, he showed that he can be aggressive while maintaining offensive finesse to play on that end. I like Caleb Swanigan. He reminds me of a Jerry Stackhouse. Young, can move, can be physical in the post, but also has the English on the basketball to get it to drop in the hoop. A lot of good talent, but by far the Lakers are the most impressive team that I've seen this offseason compared to anybody else. We can go ahead and talk about Houston and their addition of CP3 and what they brought in there. Now, obviously no one wants to take on Ryan Anderson's contract, but Houston's got other issues going on. The Rockets, they just got CP3, right? But Leslie Alexander wants to turn a profit on the team. Why is it that all of a sudden the Rockets bring in all this star talent and they are considered a contender in the West to the Warriors, and then Leslie Alexander sells the team? Because he's a businessman first. Maximize your profits. You bought the team 20-something years ago. You saw Hakeem the Dream and Clyde Drexler glide around your team, around your city and your arena. Now, at this day and age, it's worth 1 point whatever billion. Why not go ahead and sell that long-term investment and make the money that you anticipated making on this franchise? I just think that's pretty ironic, considering this comes on the heels of what he did last year in the playoffs by getting up and trying to talk to the ref in the middle of the game, and you're the owner. But Leslie Alexander, your team's always been good, so I can't knock you. I guess it's time for greener pastures. Melo, you want to see a jersey in Houston with your name on it, but I'm telling you, Melo, it will not happen. They just can't seem to find a way to get Melo out of a Knicks uniform. And it's sad because he's got this no trade clause and says that the buyout can be to the Cavs or the Rockets. Well, Melo, you might want to open that search up, open that beanbag up a little further, because that hallway's kind of small for where your train's trying to go. I would say that if Melo does stay in New York, I really do hope that the New York new president does find a way to bring in talent to help this man Melo because, yeah, he loves the city, but those Olympic gold medals, people where I'm from, people around here, they're not going to sit here and say, oh, Melo's a champion. They'll say that, oh, he won a few Olympic gold medals. So I hope this situation gets handled eventually for Melo because it'd be unfortunate if he doesn't win a championship due to the fact that his organization didn't make moves, but largely because he didn't make a move. And he didn't swallow his pride and say, you know what, get me anywhere but here. Boxing, now, boxing is a sport that's very interesting. It's very interesting because you don't know who's going to win. One punch and the fight could be over. But Mayweather, he's the skilled boxer. When talk is cheap, fists tend to be the discount. Mayweather versus McGregor tour hit 4 cities last week: Las Vegas, Toronto, New York, and London. Insults will not win a fight. We heard Conor McGregor yell out, that $100 million to the tax man, and Floyd Mayweather made it rain on him because he had a fur coat and no shirt and said, you look like a stripper, so let me make it rain on you. Well, that smack talk, it was really good. It was entertaining. I think it's the real deal, Holyfield, because each individual, they have pride about themselves, and they have a swagger that they exude in the octagon and in the boxing ring. So McGregor and Mayweather, I don't think that this is fake at all. I think McGregor feels like he's being slighted by the media, by boxing pundits, as he referred to them, in his suit that he had the FU, you know the rest, down the side, pinstriped on his suit. I think that McGregor really feels as though that people don't believe that he's a legitimate fighter. And he says, you know what? I may be in the octagon, but when it comes to boxing, I can do this as well. But Mayweather, let's not forget, he's a proven champion, 49-0. He is the three-headed monster that nobody really wants to fight because they know that he's a defensive guru. He will keep you from hitting him. He'll score points on you with jabs the entire round, and then you look up after 12 and he won the fight. So McGregor, if he can be aggressive early, he's got to get the knockout. There's no way that McGregor wins this fight unless he tries to muster a knockout. So I look forward to seeing this fight. We'll talk more about it the closer it gets. But stay tuned because that Smack Talk tour, they were letting some trash fly. And it stunk, but it was so good to see. In the NFL, Kirk Cousins still feels unappreciated in D.C. Second straight franchise tag, potentially. That's the first, not even potentially, second straight franchise tag, period. He's the first QB for that to ever happen to in the NFL. The Redskins, they need to go ahead and marry this guy. Where are you guys going to get a quarterback at? You didn't want to change your name. You're dogging your quarterback. Dan Snyder, I'm questioning your character at this point. Kirk Cousins won games for this franchise. You don't have Deshaun Jackson. You don't have Pierre Garçon. What does Washington have to look forward this year? I don't know, an 8-8 season? 7-9? Because the way you guys are treating Kirk Cousins, you may not have a quarterback there next year. I mean, this man will be on the open market. You guys offered him, Bruce Allen says they offered him $53 million. That was a couple bucks more than he would have gotten under the franchise tag. So why would I take that again? Doesn't make sense. So don't try to give us false details and false news, that's a buzz term these days, about what you're offering Kirk Cousins. Stop being greedy with this man. He proved since Michigan State days that he can ball. So go ahead and pay the man. There's not 30. Point to 30 quarterbacks that are just way better than Kirk Cousins playing in the NFL right now. You can't point to 30. Maybe you could point to 10 or 12 or 13 or 14 or 15, but not 30. So Washington, chill out. You need to calm down and just get this man a check because he's earned it on the field and off the field as well. Now, speaking of off the field issues, Ezekiel Elliott, he can't stay out of a nightclub or in trouble. Ezekiel Elliott was involved in an incident last week where I guess something happened at a bar. A man got knocked out, and he supposedly said he doesn't remember what happened. Now, I think that's more of the streets, no snitching. I'm thinking that's what may have happened, what may have transpired. Somebody said, I'm not going to talk about it because I know it was Ezekiel Elliott. Let me try to extort a little money. But I don't know. I hope Zeke wasn't involved in this incident because if he was, it's just a slew of things that are continuing to happen. He's already got the domestic violence allegations. Could potentially get a suspension. He's anticipating a suspension. Why would you go out to a nightclub this weekend and put yourself in harm's way? Now, if you didn't do anything as far as the domestic violence goes, then yeah, I see why you're trying to live a normal life. But just because it's hot right now, it's hot in these streets, I would just chill, Zeke. Because, I mean, you're the Cowboys' young star. They pay you a lot of money to run that rock, but also be available. And if you're suspended and you're not on the field, guess what? You're not available, which makes you a running back that's what? Replaceable. So we all see how Le'Veon Bell's getting done in Pittsburgh right now with his contract money. Do they really value running backs like that in the NFL? I'm not particularly sure about that. Now, next show, we'll have some juice to talk about. We will be talking not next week, but the beginning of August. So the first Tuesday in August, that's when you guys will see me again. Can't wait to talk to you guys. I am enjoying some Zonos. I've enjoyed it for the entire year. Football season's coming up, so we'll have more to talk about soon. But this is the dead period in sports. So until next time, thank you for watching the Zono Sports Show, where you know Zonos.